Well, hello everyone. In the summer of 2023, a wildfire started in the forest on the west side of Okanagan Lake. Unfortunately, the forests that year were tinder dry and that wildfire took off. It took off so much so that it started threatening communities. Unfortunately, that wildfire burned through community after community after community, burning houses, businesses, everything it came across. Now, for decades, many decades, basically my whole life, I have been involved with a youth camp on the west side of Okanagan Lake, Camp Mewata. Unfortunately, Camp Mewata was not spared from this wildfire. Camp Mewata, which consists of a lower site down by the lake and an upper site up in the forest, had its upper site completely 100% destroyed. The bathroom facilities, the bunkhouse, all the tent platforms, all of the tents, everything was destroyed in our upper site. I'm here today to give you an update of what has happened at Camp Mewata since the wildfire.
This is exceptionally sad for everyone that's involved with the camp, myself included. I remember building the bunkhouse that was right there back when I was 13 years old. I've been involved in this camp my entire life, and we built a great bunkhouse right there. We called it the Lion's Den because the Lions organization sponsored the building of it back in the day. And as you can see, there is nothing left.
Now, if you do watch my channel, you will have seen a couple videos on Camp Mewata here and the devastation that happened at the time and our rebuild efforts. And the reason I am doing this update video is to A, thank everyone that's helped, and I have some big thank yous to do, and show you some of the rebuilding that's been done since then because of the generous support of everyone in the community out there, including, yes, of course, my followers. And to let the local community know that we have got the camp back to the state where it is open for business. No, it's not at the state that it was before fire, but if any of the local youth groups that utilize this camp want to start coming back out and enjoying the wilderness here, we can take you now.
Now, one of the first things we needed to do before we could invite the public back is to rebuild our bathroom facilities in the upper camp. Without bathroom facilities and water, no, we couldn't legally have campers out here. Now, because of the generous support of my followers out here, we were able to donate enough money to rebuild a bathroom building with 4 stalls. Oop, apparently they need to be cleaned. 4 stalls for the youth to use. And thanks to our awesome campsite committee, we have some great members here that are very talented in construction. And through the money raised from my channel and the talented individuals of the campsite committee, we were able to rebuild this building so that anyone camping in the upper site here, of course now it's just tenting at the moment, but they can have bathroom facilities. Now, the water system was also burnt up and we had no water back to the upper site. That too has been fixed up, and we now have water back to the upper site, back to the bathrooms. Everything we need up here is now to the state where we can invite campers back. We had a forestry crew up here who fell all the dangerous burnt trees. All the rest of the trees that are burnt here are either still alive or not in, dire straits of falling over. Now, the Lion's Den bunkhouse has not been rebuilt and probably won't be in the state it was before. We have decided to keep this upper camp for now completely wilderness. If anyone wants to camp up here, it's going to be tenting. And what we're going to do building in this spot here is built a cooking shelter so that there's a place out of the rain, if need be, that campers can go do their cooking, eat their dinner, whatnot. And we don't have the money to build another bunkhouse, but I think we can afford to build a shelter right there.
And speaking of money, that gives me a great opportunity to thank my viewers for the amount that they donated to the camp. Followers of Dan Hurd Prospecting donated $10,000 to the rebuild efforts here. So my followers, thank you so much. That helps us so much in getting this place back to where we can bring the kids back out here into the wilderness and enjoy the outdoors. Also, another huge thank you. I have to send a huge thank you to Chris and Melissa Roback, who run Silver Cove, Canada's largest rock and gem supplier. They did a very large corporate donation, which has also gone to the rebuild efforts here at the camp.
Now, I am not here today to ask for any more support from my followers, any more support at all. From here on out, yes, there's still lots to be done. But from here on out, it's going to be up to the local users of this camp to do some fundraising, to get back out here, start camping again, and have those camp fees go to rebuilding of everything else that needs to be rebuilt here. If you're part of one of those groups that utilizes this camp, it's time to get the fundraising going, because there's still lots to be done. And endless legal costs associated with getting this camp back to the state it was.
And as I walk down to show you the lower camp, let me tell you some of the horror stories that we had other than just the burning of the camp. There are some lowlifes out there, and that's for sure. As the camp was in a vulnerable state, no fences, no gates, all that kind of stuff because of the fire, and unlocked so that firefighters could get in here, some lowlife out there broke in and stole our water pump for getting water to the upper site, our generator for power to some of the areas, the cookhouse and whatnot. To add insult to injury, while we were recovering from the burn, someone came and ripped us off. But again, thank you to everyone that's donated. It uses up some of the donations, but we'll get things back.
Now, as I said, Camp Mewata consists of the upper and lower sites, and the lower site was saved. Thank you so much to those firefighters for everything you did to save the lower site of Camp Mewata. This here's the cookhouse. If the cookhouse had burnt, I don't know if the campsite committee would have had enough, in us to recover. We built that probably 10, 15 years ago. It's our newest building on site. It's a complete industrial kitchen inside. We can cook for hundreds of people. And if that had gone, I don't know if we could have recovered. So we also have a sleeping facility, a little cabin right down in the water for sleeping in. We have half a dozen tent platforms right on the beach and big tents that go up on them to sleep hundreds of people. And there's a dock out there. There's a nice swimming beach, campfire around the corner. The lower site survived, and yes, the lower site is still 100% usable. So again, if you are one of the groups that has used this in the past, Camp Mewata is open for business. Absolutely love being down here at the beach at Mewata. A lot of fond memories here. My family started being caretakers of this camp back when I was about 5 years old. And I've been coming here ever since, helping maintain it, camping here, enjoying the wilderness. Love Mewata. There's big tents that go up onto these platforms here. Each one can sleep, 8 to 10 kids. This lower site down here is meant more for the younger kids with all the, kitchen facilities, sleeping areas, whatnot. The upper site is more for the older youth, where it's a bit more wilderness camping up there. We also have these big sleeping tents up on the upper site. Unfortunately, they were all up on their platforms when the fire came through, so they all got burnt. Some of our backup ones were in the lion's den, and it got burnt. So that's one of our next big expenditures, is to find some great big canvas tents, build new tent platforms up there, and make it so those that don't have tents of their own can still come to Camp Mewata and enjoy the outdoors.
Again, a big thank you to everyone that's helped us in these rebuild efforts. And another reminder to those user groups who have used Camp Mewata in the past, we are open for camping. Please utilize us. Hope you all enjoyed. Until the next one. Bye.